Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well and welcome to our next lecture. In today's lecture, I am going to start with the Unit 5 Environmental Pollution. So, starting with the definition of pollution, when harmful substances contaminate the environment, it is called as pollution. We can also define environmental pollution as any undesirable change in physical, chemical, biological characteristic of any component of environment which can cause harm to human life, environment, and property. Right? So these are the two definitions. This is how you can define the environmental pollution. Coming to the types of pollution. So there are various types of pollution in the different components of environment, such as air pollution, water pollution, marine pollution, thermal pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, and nuclear pollution. So we are going to study each one of them in detail one by one. Starting with the air pollution, first of all. So before understanding the air pollution, we have to know about the atmosphere. What is atmosphere? Atmosphere works like light blanket on Earth, and there are various layers of the atmosphere, such as troposphere, which is closest to the Earth's surface. Next layer is stratosphere. The upper layer is mesosphere and then thermosphere. These two layers becomes very important. And with respect to air pollution, we have to study about the troposphere, right? The height of each layer is different, such as the troposphere height ranges from 6 to 8 km at poles and 17 km at equator. Then comes the stratosphere. Its height ranges from 8 to 50 km. Then mesosphere 50 to 80 km, and then thermosphere beyond 80 km. What is air? Air supplies us with oxygen, which is essential for our bodies to live. And air is mixture of various gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, water vapors, carbon dioxide, and inert gases. Human activities can release substances into the air, some of which can cause problems to humans, plants, and animals. Here we are talking about the carbon dioxide. The natural composition of air is like this: nitrogen, which is present in atmosphere, and the percentage is 78%. Oxygen, its percentage is 21%. And both of these gases are known as major gases. We call them major gases. Then argon, carbon dioxide, we call these gases as minor gases because argon is present in atmosphere and its percentage is 0.9%. The percentage of carbon dioxide is 0.035%. And here we are talking about the composition of natural gases, right? Not the polluted air. And there are some other gases also, and their percentage is 0.065%. And we call them as trace gases. Right? So natural air is the mixture of these major gases, minor gases, and trace gases, right? And The trace gases comprises of neon, helium, krypton, hydrogen, xenon, ozone, and radon. And when an atmospheric condition in which certain substances, constituents which are present in the air, and they are present in concentrations which can cause undesirable effect on human health and environment, then we call it as air pollution, right? And these gases can be, or these constituents can be like nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon monoxide, volatile organic carbon, particulate matters such as dust, smoke, fumes, etc., and radioactive elements such as iodine 131, right? So these can be the substances whose constitution, these constituents can disturb the natural composition of air if they are present in different composition, right? Coming to the sources of air pollution, there are two types of sources, natural and anthropogenic. Among natural sources, we can say volcanic eruptions, forest fires, sea salt spray, biological decay, pollen grains, marshes, photochemical oxidations of terpenes. These are the natural volatile organic carbons, right? So these are the natural sources of air pollution. And anthropogenic sources of air pollution are thermal power plants, where we use fossil fuels, right? And the vehicular emissions. Most of the vehicles are also using fossil fuels, and the industrial units. These are the anthropogenic sources of air pollution. So here in this picture, you can see natural sources, stationary sources, mobile sources, right, which are contributing to the air pollution. The sources of emissions of the air pollutants. So what are the sectors which are contributing to the air pollutants, air pollution, right? So industrial sector, which contributes almost 52% in the air pollution. Then comes the transportation sector, which contributes 27%. And then there are some other sectors like agriculture, commercial and residential heating, and consumer and commercial products. So industries are contributing highest into the air pollution. So here is the classification of air pollutants. What are the air pollutants? The substances which are causing air pollution, we can call them as air pollutants. And these air pollutants may be particulate or gaseous. On the basis of origin, we can divide them into the primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants are those pollutants which are directly emitted into the air from any point source. For example, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxides. And these carbon monoxide, NOx and SOx are emitted by burning of fossil fuel. Almost all fossil fuels, including coal, petroleum, and diesel, all these fossil fuels are having impurities of sulfur and nitrogen with them. So on partial combustion, these fossil fuels emit carbon monoxide, and on complete combustion, they emit carbon dioxide. And along with this, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, oxides of these impurities such as sulfur and nitrogen are also emitted into the air. So oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen, right? And hence these pollutants are known as primary pollutants. Coming to the secondary pollutants, these pollutants formed by interaction of primary pollutants. For example, when these pollutants which are already emitted into the air, such as NOx, right, it can react with the volatile organic carbons in presence of sunlight, and it forms PAN and ozone. It means peroxyacetyl nitrate and ozone, and this is tropospheric ozone, which acts as secondary air pollutant. Remember it that there is a ozone layer which is present into the stratosphere, and we call it as a good ozone because it protects us from UV radiations which are coming from the solar radiations. And this tropospheric ozone is formed by reaction of nitrogen oxides, volatile organic carbons in presence of sunlight, right? And it acts as secondary air pollutants, right? So because these pollutants are not emitted into the air by direct burning of fossil fuels, they are formed by the interaction of primary pollutants which are already present into the atmosphere. That's why we call them as secondary air pollutants. So examples are PAN, peroxyacetyl nitrate, smog, and ozone. I hope it is clear. Coming to the criteria pollutants. So our air quality index, we also call it as National Air Quality Index, comprises some pollutants, and we call them as criteria pollutants, right? Basically, it was composed of 6 pollutants primarily. Later on, few more pollutants are added, and these are as follows, like nitrogen oxide, or we call it as NOx, and it comprises nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide. It is brownish gas and it irritates the respiratory system, originates from the combustion of fossil fuels. Sources क्या हैं? Burning fossil fuels, including petrol, diesel, and coal. Another criteria pollutant is ground level ozone, which is a primary constituent of smog, and it is a secondary air pollutant. It forms by the reaction of volatile organic carbon and NOx in presence of sunlight. Sources are vehicles and industries. The next criteria pollutant is carbon monoxide. It forms or it is produced by incomplete burning of fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and petrol. It reduces blood ability to carry oxygen because it combines with oxygen and forms carboxyhemoglobin. The another pollutant is carbon dioxide. It is a principal greenhouse gas. Although it is not toxic for human health, but this carbon monoxide is toxic. This carbon dioxide is emitted as a result of human activities, burning of coal, oil, and natural gases. Coming to the sulfur dioxide, it is a precursor of acid rain along with the nitrogen oxides formed when fossil fuel, coal, oil containing sulfur is burned and from the metal smelting industries. Next is chlorofluorocarbon. This is a greenhouse gas and also it is a ozone depleting substance. It is released from air conditions, systems and refrigeration. Next pollutant is lead. It causes learning disabilities in children because it is a neurotoxin. It is also toxic to liver, kidney, blood forming organs, and it is present in the petrol, diesel, and lead batteries, also in the paints, hair dye products, right? And other some other pollutants are like particulate matters, which are of two types, PM10 and PM2.5, right? So these are the criteria pollutants. Coming to the indoor air pollution, till now we have studied all those pollutants which are causing outdoor air pollution. So indoor air pollution, many people spend large portion of their time indoors, as much as 80 to 90% of their lives. We work, we study, we eat, drink and sleep in enclosed environments where air circulation may be restricted. So children, women are more exposed to this indoor air pollution, and one pollutant which causes indoor air pollution is radon gas. Also, this indoor air pollution can be caused by burning of dung cakes for fuels, which can emit carbon monoxide, wood burning, and kerosene burning. And incomplete combustion of these fuels produces carbon monoxide, which is a toxic gas. And when it reaches into our system, it forms carboxyhemoglobin. And that's why oxygen carrying capacity of blood reduces. This indoor air pollution can also be caused by cigarette smoke, right? So these are the sources of outdoor and indoor air pollution. Coming to the effects of air pollution affects human health, animals, plants, materials, and environment. Let's see one by one in detail how air pollution affects human health. So many problems are related to respiratory tract like asthma, hay fever and other allergic disease. And according to a report of WHO, World Health Organization, every year 8 million people dies because of air pollution worldwide, right? And most of these deaths are in infants. Infants are more vulnerable, right? So air pollutants causes irritation of eyes, nose, throat. In severe cases, there may be headache, nausea, and loss of coordination. Prolonged exposure can cause damage to nervous system, digestive problems, and in some cases can cause lung cancer, right? Especially when the level of particulate matter PM2.5 is very high, and these particulate matter PM2.5 can cross the membranes in lungs, and they can reach into our lungs and can cause lung cancer. Also, severe air pollution lowers our resistance to cold and pneumonia. Carbon monoxide, which has affinity towards hemoglobin, which can cause disturbance in transportation of oxygen, impairing our concentration, slowing our reflexes, and make us confused and sleepy. Sulfur dioxide, if it is present into the air, it can lead to diseases of lungs and other lung disorders such as wheezing or shortness of breath. Other chronic respiratory diseases like lung cancer, heart disease, and even damage to brain, nerves, liver, or kidney can also happen. Apart from this, Arsenic, asbestos, mercury, and benzene also have carcinogenic effects on lungs. Right? So these are the effects on human health. Coming to the effects on plant, pollutants enter through stomata. Stomata are small pores in the leaf which are required for gaseous exchange, and these stomata also helps in transpiration. So pollutants enter through the stomata, and these pollutants can destroy chlorophyll and affect the photosynthesis. Cuticle, which is the uppermost waxy layer on leaves, is lost because of these pollutants, and these pollutants can cause necrosis. Necrosis means damage to leaf structure. Chlorosis means yellowing of leaf because of loss or reduction of chlorophyll. Abscission means dropping of leaf, and epinasty movement, which is downward curling of leaves. And ultimately, it can also cause the death of plant. Right. So these are the effects on plants. So in this picture, you can see yellowing of leaves, epinasty, necrosis, right? So these are the leaf injuries which can cause by the peroxyacetyl nitrate, which is a secondary air pollutant. Coming to the effects on animals and materials. Materials पे क्या effect होता है? So these air pollutants can cause corrosion to the metal surface and can lead to the fading of surface. Sulfur dioxide and water forms H2S, and it can corrode the surface as well as the limestone and marble. Air pollutants mix with the rainwater and increases the acidity and can cause acid rains, which can later on uh, cause to the fish kill and acidification of water body. Ozone means the tropospheric ozone, which is a secondary air pollutant, can cause cracking of rubbers. So these are the effects on materials and animals, right? Coming to the effects on environment, air pollutants can cause or they can reduce the visibility in the air. Pollutants in the presence of sunlight produces photochemical smog. Emission of greenhouse gases tend to global warming, and chlorofluorocarbon can cause ozone depletion. So all the greenhouse gases which are also air pollutants can cause global warming, right? Means the increase in average global temperature, and ultimately it can lead to the climate change. So this is how air pollutants affects plants, animals, human health and environment. So that's it for today's lecture. Further we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you.